We're back and continuing our conversation with special guest Steve Delott. We're having a really, really interesting conversation about the economy, financial uncertainty, economic uncertainty, globalization, the vulnerability of our dollar. And now we're at the point in the conversation where we're really talking about what are some of the strategies that people can explore in order to get themselves positioned and prepared and ready for shifts in our financial reality. And Steve, before we went to break, we were talking some about how people might, think about diversifying their own portfolios, maybe taking some of their IRA funds and investing a portion of it. You said 10 to 20% at least in gold. One of the other things, though, that I wanted to ask you about is, what are some of the questions that people should be asking themselves? So if people have this feeling in our gut, like I do, like something's changing, I'm a little nervous, what are the right kinds of questions that I should be asking myself and asking my financial advisor and using to help me find a financial advisor? Because different people are at different points in their lives. Some people are closer to retirement. I am, mid-career. Some people are early on in their careers. Different people have different realities as far as, what socioeconomic bracket they currently are in, their lifestyle needs and expectations, whether or not they have children, whether they're entrepreneurs like me. Just give us some ideas about the kinds of things that, an informed person should be thinking about regardless of where we come from.
Okay. Well, first, assuming that people are still working and they're planning on working for quite a while, I always tell people, try and take 10% of your savings or of your paycheck and put it away and, use the other 90% for what you need it for. The problem is most people do it just the opposite. They spend all their money, and then whatever's left to save, they save. Well, they don't save anything.
Right.
A statistic just came out from the government that 50% of the people in this country are living from check to check, and that most people in this country, and I don't know what percentage they were talking about, only have $30,000 that they have for retirement. And
wow.
That's kind of scary.
That is kind of scary.
But, as you get older, like I always did for myself, as I got older, I started reducing my risk because of living too long. If the market crashes, and I thought, man, if it crashes now, and I've got a lot of money in the market, I'm 65 years old. I may not have time to ride the next correction up. So as you age, you should reduce your risk accordingly because you can't afford the risk if we have another crash. And a lot of people, they don't go by that philosophy. And I think they should. And if they're going to talk to an advisor, I think they should talk to three advisors and get their proposals, and maybe have them present a Morningstar report and explain it to them what the charges are, the expenses. Morningstar has it out for everything you wanted. They have the analysis, and all the brokers have Morningstar. So that might be something. It's like if somebody goes through a divorce. Typically, they don't just go to one divorce lawyer. They interview two or three, and then they make their choice.
The other thing is that what you're talking about is, one, having an advisor who, you can work with, and finding someone who you understand what their approach is, you understand what the services are they're providing you, you understand what the fees are for those services, but also that you're an active, or I, as the person who, is investing, am actively involved in my own investment plan. I don't just hand it off to a financial advisor and then walk away and assume that that person is going to do right by me and make the appropriate adjustments according to my life goals, etc.
Right.
You know, that
you want
I
to be
think
able
about
to make,
that I take agency in this experience.
yes, you want to be able to make the decisions. That you want to use an advisor to give you some suggestions, but you should make the ultimate decision, which makes sense for you, not for.
Right. So for most people, I know that it's kind of intimidating. You know, we assume that the financial advisors are the experts and that they know more, and so we should kind of hand off and listen to them. But really, that's not always the case. We should really push back and try to be much more empowered and educated than perhaps trusting the judgment of these financial advisors. Not that there's any ill will, but that it's our responsibility for our own financial well-being.
That's true, and I mean, you can even open up an account yourself at a company like TD Ameritrade, where I have my account, and they offer free training to you, and that's kind of nice because you can continue your education through companies like that are not selling you anything; they're just educating you. And that's, I'm sure there's plenty of them, but, that's the one I use. And if I have any questions, like I want a high-paying dividend account with strong ratings, they will advise me on that.
So
you'd have to make the trade yourself, but, it's simple.
So Steve, TD Ameritrade is one of the things that you're talking about, you putting yourself in the driver's seat as an individual, but also how all of us, all the listeners can do this. Can you share with us any other resources that people listening to might go to, be pointed to, and how they might connect with you for additional kind of follow-up or advice?
Yes, there's an interesting website. It's called Economic Info Hub, HUB. It's all third-party letters and conversations and videos about what they think is good and bad with the markets and what to look for. That's free of charge. Anybody can go on there. That's very nice.
Economic Info Hub.
Yeah, Economic Info Hub is excellent. Porter Stansberry Research. I think his is excellent. And, you get emails every day about different things, and they tell you what they think about the market and all that. They're licensed, and so, they're able to do all these recommendations for you. I like Agora, Agora. I think that's excellent. And Jim Rickards, he's probably the foremost expert on the economy and world. He's written 3 books on the coming collapse of the world currency, and before I'll finish up with him, then give you my contact information. But they hired. He's an economist, an attorney, and worked for the CIA. And the CIA asked him after 9/11. They hired him to, try and find some clues so we know if there's a terrorist attack. So he was researching, and he noticed right before the terrorist attack of 9/11, a lot of people shorted American Airlines and United Airlines. Those were the planes that crashed. So when you short a stock, that means you bet it goes down. When a stock goes down and you shorted it, that means you make money.
Oh, yeah.
He caught that.
Really interesting. So check out, so Economic Info Hub, Porter Stansberry Research, Agora, Jim Rickards, and then Steve, tell us how our listeners can contact you. Okay,
you can contact me, both my phone, which is 224-246-0022. You can email me, Steve Delott, Delott, @gmail.com. you can go on our website and view the gold, silver, and a lot of YouTubes and videos and articles. Royal Metals Group.
Royal Metals Group.
Yeah, Royal Metals Group. And we've got a lot of interesting things on our website. And
thank you so much. We need to wind it down. I'm sorry about this because we could go on and on. But it's been a really, really educational hour. I can't tell you how much I appreciate this. I'm sure our listeners have gotten a lot of good information. Listeners, I'm going to hit you up on social media with all of the links that Steve has suggested for us. Steve, I hope your phone just starts ringing off the hook because you are a wealth of knowledge, and I've known that about you since the day we met. And so thank you so much for spending this time with us.